This is Legends of the Game, where the legends of yesterday inspire the heroes of tomorrow. Presented by Chase Toys, 417 Thorndike Road in Unity.
The men's basketball coach here at Colby College, Damian Strayhorn, is not just the men's basketball coach. The actual title of his position is the Richard L. Whitmore Jr. Colby men's basketball coach. And today on Legends of the Game, we profile the man who that job is named after, Dick Whitmore. Coach, where did the idea come from to start this camp, which is what, in its 50th year now?
Yeah, it's got to be at least that.
Where did the idea come from back in the day?
Well, Dick Meter was the head coach and AD at Thomas.
Yep.
And I had worked for a startup camp that was there the year before, and he called me and said, would you be interested in doing a camp together? And we met and started, and after that it was just an amazing run.
Yeah, it took off pretty fast.
Yeah.
It started at Thomas.
Yep.
I remember going, I think, in 72 and 73.
Yep.
And you had a good bunch of kids there then.
Yeah. And, Thomas became too small for us as far as the physical size and sports are concerned. And we moved up to Colby, and then it exploded again. So it was, we had, in 38 years, we had 50,000 kids.
50,000?
Yeah.
Think of that.
Yeah.
And a lot of good basketball talent.
I'll say.
I mean, I know when I was there, McGee was there.
Yeah.
But it seems like every good, not just high school player, but even before that, eventually made at least one round through this Pine Tree camp, right?
Yes. Yeah. That was the great joy of it.
Yeah. It was the go-to place.
Yeah.
When you see these kids here now today, 2024, and these kids look like, 10, 12, something in that area, what feelings do you have?
Get your fundamentals down. I mean, that was the constant.
Two-hand chest pass?
Yeah. Being able to handle the ball, being able to pass the ball, and the biggest thing I think we succeeded in a lot of ways was to be able to get shooting mechanics to a point where if a kid was here for a week and he didn't leave as a better shooter, then we were really disappointed.
The men's basketball coaching position at Colby College is actually officially named the Richard L. Whitmore Jr. Colby men's basketball coach. You are Richard L. Whitmore Jr.
Yeah.
What do you think when the literally Damian Strayhorn's job is named after you?
Well, it's just one of those, the great blessings in life. You get to be able to relive a lot of things, and just knowing that I'm still a small part of what's going on is just extra special.
So how does a Bowdoin guy, class of 65, end up being the head basketball coach at Colby and wanting to beat Bowdoin every time out?
Yeah, it's one of those unusual things. I coached at Halldale for 3 years, then I coached at Morse for 2 years.
Varsity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the following spring, the position opened here. Ed Burke left the position, and they were looking for, college experience, etc. And I didn't even know the position was open. And then I got a call on a Wednesday from Alex Schulten, who was a great hammer thrower at Bowdoin when I was there, and he was a track coach here at Colby. And he said to me, would you be interested in taking a look at the Colby position? Because we're well through the process, and essentially they'd been turned down a few times. And I said, wait a minute, let me think. And I said, absolutely.
At Toro, we know shortcuts don't cut it. Our iron-forged cutting system is the bedrock of machines that get the job done right, season after season. We use thick, heavy steel. More rigid means less flex, so the deck stays precisely on its mark, producing an unmatched, even and clean cut that only comes from a Toro.
Get your Toro Zero Turn at Chase Toys, 417 Thorndike Road in Unity.
Great teams, great names. I remember coming here and seeing your team play at Wadsworth Gym, which you turned into a house of hell for opposing teams. Teams hated to come here and play.
They did.
It was that place when the kids filled the gym and the townies came up like me, it was some place to play.
Yes.
Some home court advantage.
Yeah, and our players really believed in that. We had, we had some great moments, and probably it had to be 1981. We had a really good team, but we were playing Clark out of Worcester, Mass., who was the #1 rated Division III team in the country, and on a Saturday night at Wadsworth Gym. And I come in very early for evening games, and I was in there probably at 2:30 or 3 o'clock, and there were people waiting outside the door for a 7 o'clock game. And then by the time that we came out on the floor, every single seat and walking area was filled. And then the game went on, and they were extremely talented, but we hung in there for a long time. And then with 10 seconds to go, or 12 seconds to go, they had the ball. They took the ball to the basket. A foul was called, and they had 2 shots. And the first shot didn't go in, so it was still tied. Second shot goes in. We inbound the ball to Rick Fusco, who was our point guard at the time, and he took 2 dribbles to half court and sunk a half court shot that won the game, and it was pandemonium.
When you decided to retire, I forget what year it was.
11.
All right, so it's been 13 years.
Yeah.
Was it hard? Because you would have been, what, 70-ish, close?
69.
Okay.
And the problem was more the combination of me getting older, that the camp was still very successful, so I really had very little time to be able to enjoy family. And the grandchildren at that time were, I think, 11, 10, 9, and 7, and they were coming up.
Yep.
And so they were going to play, and I really wanted to see them, and it became a difficult scenario.
Sure.
But in the end, I decided to that combined with the recruiting was becoming enormously pressurized, and the travel you had to do to get the recruiting done right was a daunting challenge.
Sure. Did you miss it?
Every second. And then what happened was that the first year I was out of Colby, I called Thomas and said, would there be any interest in doing a course in your sports management program? And they said yes, and so I went in that next semester and taught a course in sport management and continued to do so for the next 5 years, I guess.
For 41 years at Colby, incredible success, tons of wins, over how many total here? 5?
600 and something.
Are you able to put your legacy in a sentence of what you left here at Colby?
I would say a combination of loyalty and friendship, because the best friends that I have in life now are the guys that played for me. And at this point, because of the way technology is, I don't have a day go by where I don't get an email or contact from one of my former players, and that's the unbelievable part about it. And it's just the joy and pride that I have out of that that's the legacy, really.